You do need to know what this tastes like. Oh, it smells so good. So good. Oh my God. That is paradise. It may be better than sex. Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. I have got something for you. No, it's not makeup. I'm not in my studio, my bedroom studio. No, it's not fitness. It is a recipe, a cleansing pumpkin soup recipe. Recently, I took Dr. Deepak Chopra and Dr. Patel's online course, and it was a course on wellness, mind-body wellness, using principles and teachings from the Ayurvedic philosophy. I am excited because this is a cleansing recipe. So let's get this video started. We don't want to be all night eating, or else I'll have to do another exercise session tonight, and I don't want to do that. I want to go to bed early, and this might be a little something extra in another sense. So let's get started, because you know I don't want to ramble. The recipe is for Vatas, V-A-T-A. Vata is one of the type of doshas, and it is a friendly pumpkin soup recipe from the Chopra Center site. Now, Vata friendly pumpkin soup recipe. Let's see. A very simple pumpkin soup serves 4 to 6 ingredients. Let me share them with you. For this recipe, I've gathered 1 large pumpkin, about 3 pounds. I didn't want to go with 3 cups of canned pumpkin, preferably organic, but I have this pumpkin from an Asian farmer's market. You will need 1.5 cups of water, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 1 cup of chopped leeks or onions, and there's a purple onion that I will use there. You will need a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of curry powder. I don't have curry powder, so I will be using that organic powder near the cinnamon, the little jar. And there is a 1/2 teaspoon of cloves of garlic, 2 to 3 cups of vegetable stock, and I'll be making the vegetable stock out of that container with the green top. And it's 1 tablespoon of Bragg's liquid aminos, and 1 cup vanilla almond milk, and nutmeg for garnishing. So to get started, I will clean my pumpkin and turn my oven on to 350 degrees. Okay guys, the next part of the recipe is to take the cleaned pumpkin, cut in half, and place it on aluminum foil, face down. Face down like this. And since I don't have a baking dish to drop it in, because I don't really do a lot of baking, and this recipe called for baking, I am going to put the pumpkin in this foil. I forgot all about my big, thick baking pan or baking pot. that came with my crock pot. And what I'm going to do is put the water in that, put a foil over it, and put that in the oven. And then I will dice the fresh onion and garlic. And I'll be right back. All right, so this is the next step, and it is to put the pumpkin halves in the baking dish and turn the pumpkin halves face down. We're going to cover this with foil. And into the oven it goes. There we go. Put it in there. And we are going to put the timer on 30 minutes. Smell good, eh?
Oh.
It's gonna be delicious. Okay guys, so this is the cooked pulp of the pumpkin, and what I'm going to do is scoop the pulp from the rind and put it in my rice cooker just for a moment so it can cool, and then I can continue with the recipe. Looks so good. The pumpkin pulp came off the rind easily, like melted butter. I had to leave the pumpkin in for about 30 more minutes. So it was not 30 minutes, it was an hour and 5 minutes for me to get this pumpkin rind soft and ready. But these are the dried pumpkin seeds. That should be delicious. Back here is the vegetable stock, and this is the pot that I will prepare the rest of the pumpkin soup in as soon as this part cools. So I could put it in the refrigerator since it is almost 9:30 at night, and I do want to eat this and let you guys know how it tastes. So what I'll do is I'll wait until it cools. Now, the next part of the recipe, heat a soup pot over medium heat and add the olive oil. Then you add the onions. You saute that for 4 to 5. Oh, my friend just texted me that. No, she just liked something I sent her. But you saute for 4 or 5 minutes or until the onions are translucent. Then you add some stock, some of the vegetable stock, if the mixture begins to dry. So then I will add the pumpkin pulp and continue to saute for another 3 to 4 minutes. And I will add the aminos and brown more of the pumpkin pulp. And no, I will add the vegetable stock to cover the pumpkin pulp and then bring the pulp to a boil. I will reduce the heat and simmer for another 10 minutes. And then using my bullet, I'll puree the soup into a smooth and creamy consistency. I'll add almond milk as I puree the soup. Return the soup to the pot and reheat if necessary. Then garnish with a bit of nutmeg. Oh, so we'll wait for this to cool. I'll probably sit over there and read something or watch YouTube or Netflix until the pumpkin pulp cools. Then I'm back at ya. I can hardly wait to see how this tastes. It should be delicious. don't have a big enough food processor to put all of this in, I'm going to eyeball the almond milk used to make this creamy. And I don't know if seaweed will throw this off, but seaweed, this is homemade. Oh, let me turn the jar around. This is homemade seaweed, home cooked seaweed. I have it salted until I get ready to use it, but this will make soup thicker, so I will use this as well. And this is how it looks. Pumpkin soup. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I tasted some. Oh goodness, it was so good, guys. I wish you could have had some. It is delicious, and I'm sure it's going to be even better with the, get my lights together here, milk and the seaweed. Oh, I'm a chef. And this is the final plating. That is brown rice topped with hoisin sauce to make an M for Marvelous Moss. That's Miss Marvelous Moss. That's a fresh salad with spinach mixed, oh, I'm spitting on the screen, with spinach mixed with lettuce, tomatoes, Mexican cheese, and red peppers, sunflower seeds. And that, my loves, is the gourmet pumpkin soup with garnished with nutmeg. Oh, and there's a bit of plum wine for tonight, some wishbone, and this would be the pumpkin seeds. I am going to sit down and enjoy this well-earned meal. I'm really quite the chef. I do so many things well. No shade to anybody who doesn't. You gotta think highly of yourself, or else who will? This meal is fit for a queen. Estoy excitando. Am I perennially excited? I should think so. Okay, who else is eating at midnight? That means you gotta work out in the morning or in the afternoon or sometime around your work schedule. Subscribe, comment, like, and let's chit chat below. Share. See you soon.